Hello, my name is Jeff Evans and I'm going to take you through the AAT Level 3 Synoptic Assessment, particularly Task 2. The one we're going to focus on now is the off the Sample Assessment 2, and it's Task 2.1. I do these videos quite a lot for my students, particularly with spreadsheets, because I don't think it's always clear it's hard to understand what they actually want on a lot of time. So I tend to do videos for them. I have posted quite a few of late, and a number of students have come back and asked if I can do a voiceover. So if you don't mind my dulcet Mancunian tone, then I'll do my best. Okay. So this one is about NC Place, who holds inventory of office equipment at its three separate stores. Identical product lists have been used to perform stock takes of each store, and the results are shown in the worksheets labelled Store 1, Store 2 and Store 3. So you've got the various stock in each of those stores. It says Mo Hossein wants to identify high value items of inventory and also the value of inventory that New Place holds from non-furniture suppliers. Okay, so therefore what you would have done is you would have downloaded the task, as you can see, and then you'd have called it by the name that it asked you to. And then we're going to open up the rename spreadsheet that you've called. So we'll open up the summary one, and it says in column B we need to show the quantity of each item that New Place holds in total across the three stores. So for this one it asks us to use paste and link and not to use the consolidate function. Well, I'm going to show you how to do both, because it might ask you to use paste link or it might ask you to use consolidate function, so that you understand how to do both. So for the first one we'll do paste link, so simply equals plus store 1 plus store 2 and then plus store 3. I think I missed one of the pluses off, so let's do that again. Probably so equals store 1, I did miss a plus, plus store 2 plus store 3, and then enter. That's better. So that one's paste link. So I'm going to drag it down so it puts all the stock for each of those items. So again, that's called paste link. I'll do that again in a minute after I've shown you the consolidate function. So to do the consolidate function, it's quite similar in that we want to consolidate all of the stock from the three stores, but this time we're going to use a different function. So we're going to go to data, and then we're going to consolidate. Okay, so consolidate what? So we're going to consolidate all the stock from store 1. Excuse me. So highlight over the data. Okay, that's store 1. And I'm going to add it to the reference box on the bottom there. Because store 2 and store 3 is over the same range of data, if I click on store 2, you'll see it's highlighted over that range. I'm going to add that as well. And also store 3, I'll add that one as well. So when I click OK, now it will add all of the stock from the three stores into the summary. But you might need to do a screen print of that just to understand, so you can show that you understand how to do the consolidate function. So print screen, probably into a Word document, but it's not actually on the Excel document, and then you would paste it. Okay, well I'll show you. So print screen, but I have to click OK first, and I'll open up another one just to show you how to do the paste, the screenshot, and I'll paste it. So therefore when the examiner checks it, it can see that I understand how to do the consolidate function. Okay, go back to the summary, and this one did ask us to do the paste link, so I'll do that one again. So equals, do it proper this time, so store 1 plus store 2 plus store 3. enter, and then drag it down. Okay. I do like to tick them off as we've done them, so highlight that. In the same, so in column D of the worksheet, use a formula to calculate the total cost of each inventory and show the total cost of inventory held. So this one is where we're just going to work out, so how much does it cost for the various items of stock. So it's simply equals 132, so B3 times C3. This gives us £237.60. So again, I can drag that down. So it highlights, so it works out the cost of each item overall, and then we want the total cost of all of the stock. So I'm going to create auto sum 200,132. So we've done that. It now wants us to freeze the rows 1 and 2 so that the headings are still visible when you scroll down, and also to identify high value items of inventory in cell C76. We're going to enter a formula that will count the range of data or the range of costs and identify those that exceed £800. So if I go back to the summary, and I'll show you how to freeze the panes. So it wants us to freeze above, so it wants us to freeze column row 1 and row 2. So if I click on row 3 and then go to view, and I've got freeze panes. So if I click on freeze panes, and then you'll see that anything above column 3 is now frozen, so you can move up and down. Okay. It also asked us to count how many of the stock in C76 that are greater than £800. So for this function we're going to use equals, and it's called COUNTIF. So it's the COUNTIF. I do like to see the little formula table, so I'll bring up the bar. So over the range of data, so what is the range that we need to identify the stock? So it's the cost. So highlight over C3 to C75, and it wants the criteria. So for any of those stock that cost more than £800, so greater than 800, I think it's 3. Yeah. So we've counted the range of data over C3 to C75, and any of those that are greater than £800. I sometimes think I should play some music when I'm scrolling through this, but there we go. So next thing it says, so an analysis is required of the value of inventory that New Place holds from non-furniture suppliers for all inventory items in the summary worksheet except any item supplied by DJ Furniture. So it says insert a pivot chart and pivot table into a new worksheet, and then produce a pivot chart of the total inventory cost of these from these suppliers. So I'm going to rename the worksheet inventory, so we need to do the pivot table first. So let's highlight over the data. Okay. And in this version of Excel, so when I go into insert a chart, I've got my pivot chart and pivot table on this side. You might have it in the middle where you can do pivot table and chart together. I'll use this one. I'll use the pivot chart because it covers both. Put it into a new table. So this one wants the, so who supplied it, and we'll take off DJ Furniture in a minute, and the total cost. Okay, let's go back, see what it says. So we'll rename the worksheet NFS Inventory. So I'm going to rename it. So NFS inventory. We've done that. Sort the row labels in the pivot table Z to A, and then we're going to turn it into an exploded pie chart. So watch. So first of all, it did say that we didn't want DJ Supply, so I'll click on here. So DJ Furniture, sorry, and we'll take DJ Furniture off. And it wants us to do Z to A, so descending order. So again, if I click on Z to A, and then it brings it down for us. So we've done those. And now we're going to do an exploding pie chart. Although I don't think that this version has an exploded pie chart. And when I did it in class, I just did the pie chart. So I'm going to do it into 3D pie chart. So I'm going to change the chart type, as you can see. And I'm going to do it as as a pie chart, but I'm just going to use a 3D one. So I'm going to click on the 3D pie chart, just offer it up to it, and you can see 3D. So click OK. Let's just make it a little bit bigger. So there's a 3D pie chart. It says add percentage to the segments and then change the York retail segment to bright yellow. So we're going to do percentages to the chart. So if we click on the chart, and then this one I've got. So we're going to go on to the data labels and I'll look at the other options, and we want percentages, not values, best fit, and we'll click OK, and now you'll see it's put the percentages in for me. It does want me to change one of them yellow. I think it's the York Retail. I'll double check. Yeah, so York Retail, it wants it to be bright yellow and explode it from the pie chart. Okay, so go back. I'm going to rotate it. It asked me to rotate it later, but I like to see what I'm doing, so I'm going to rotate it. Just turn it around so I can see what it's doing. So the X, so I'm going to turn it so, because it needs to be on the right hand side, the York one. I'm also going to change the Y axis to about 40 degrees. Do a little bit more of that one. And close. And it's that one that I need to change to yellow. So I'm going to right click. It needs to be the segment that's highlighted. So I'm going to go and fill. Solid fill. Change it to yellow. Okay, the important thing about that is you'll notice that those three sort of like circles are highlighted in that. I did have it highlighted on the 8% before, which means it would change that to that colour. So you need to make sure that when you are changing the colour, as I say, when highlight it at first, see it highlights all of the different segments. As I just want that one, the York one, if I click on that one, then it just highlights that. And I'm also going to drag it out as it asked me to. That's it. So let's see. So we've done the 3D pie chart. We've moved it to we've moved the York segment to the right, and we've exploded it. We've resized it so the chart can be seen, and then we're going to do total inventory cost from non-furniture suppliers. Okay, let's make it a bit bigger. It says move the chart legend to the bottom right. It already is, but I'll show you how to do that just in case. So let's go back to the chart, and again, if you go onto format, and this one is your legend, we can see that this one is shown to the right anyway. Could do it over the top if we wanted, but it wants it to the right as it was, so show to the right hand side. That's what it's asking you. And then we've done that. The next thing says in the summary worksheet, apply data validation for the whole of column E so that only a list of approved suppliers is shown in cells G3 to G7. Can be used in a drop down box for each cell in column E. I'll show you what we're doing in a minute. We're doing data validation, but it says when you choose column E, there should be an error message that says please choose from the drop down list. Okay, so I'll show you, it's called data validation. So basically what we want to do here is we want to do data validation to make sure that in column E only has any of these suppliers so people can't mess about with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on E, on the column E, and then we're going to go into data. Boom, boom, boom. Data validation. Sorry, I forgot what I was looking at then. So we've got data validation. So we've highlighted over column E, and we're basically, so what are the settings? So what does it want to find? It's a list, and it's this list of approved suppliers. So I'm going to highlight over the list of approved suppliers. They're the ones that we can use only. And then we're going to put a message that says anybody that tries to go into there, please use from the drop down list below. Okay, so watch, so click OK, and then you'll see it has those suppliers that we've got, and if I try and type anything into there, it doesn't allow me to, because it said you can only use those suppliers that we've highlighted. Okay, so that's called data validation. So highlight over those, and you'll see you saw the suitable warning sign that when you try to type something in that column in column E. So we've done that one. And the next bit, the final bit, is where it says ensure that only the list of approved suppliers in cells G3 to G7, those we looked at, is protected using a password 123 so that nobody can change the list without a code. So go back to summary. Excuse me. So in Excel you find that all of the cells are all automatically locked. I'll just show you. So if we go into format cells and protection, you'll see that they're all automatically locked. Okay, so what we need to do is unlock them all and then just lock those cells that we want to protect. So the best way to do it is to go on this little icon here and just highlight all of the sheet, and then we're going to right click, format cells, and we're going to unlock the protection. Okay, so click OK. So they're all unprotected now, and what it wants us to do in the tasks, it wants us to password protect G3 to G7. So if we go back to G3 to G7 and we lock those cells, so same as we did before, so format cells and then lock them and click OK. So they're now locked, and therefore what we need to do is go on to password protect. We need to protect them now. So if we go on to protect worksheet, and it says here protect worksheet and contents of locked cells. Okay, so if I click, if I type 1, 2, 3, okay, then retype the password, then you'll see that I can't type anything in there because it's locked. I can type anything anywhere else because they're not locked. Okay, they've still got the drop down menu, so that's where we're protecting that information so that nobody else can alter it. Okay, you can't change the name of the supplier or whatever. Okay, so I hope you found that interesting and helpful. Again, I just highlight to say that we finished that particular document. I will do the other sample assessments and do a recording over those as well. You're most welcome to send me any questions about the task, so please don't hesitate. Thank you very much.